Hello everyone, welcome to Brakes Released. This aircraft is currently AOG due to an emergency brake control issue, and at first we are going to replace the remote brake control unit number 1. With the ordered parts that finally arrived at the Miami station, we're first going to start up the aircraft and continue the troubleshooting process on this problem with replacing some parts. So with currently no air stairs available for me to enter the airplane, I use the hatch to the electrical compartment to enter the aircraft. Nice dark airplane. Let me put you guys down. So as I entered the dark airplane, I'm now opening the hatch to the cockpit. Let's turn it on. And if you like to see the whole process of starting up a dark airplane, I will link in the description a video to how that is done. So, what this airplane has. So, this was the initial fault of the emergency brake control. So that's why we thought it's a computer. But now you see, it can also be something else. So here you see the details, fault code. So yeah, this was it not, and in the end it was the alternate servo valve. Valve alternate brake control. Of course, after the system test, it gave us more fault coders to work with, and in the end we ended up on the brake number 5. So here you at least see the system pages of the brakes, and the problem we have is in the green hydraulic, and it is on the alternate servo valve for brake number 5. Initially we thought it was the controller only, because if you do the test you see the currents going to the alternate servo valve. That's why we're thinking the controller only, but in the end the open circuit was in the servo valve. The aircraft itself also already gave us a little bit of a clue, because if you switch off the anti-skid, you go into the emergency brake mode, and you see here already that it gives a brake number 5 brake release. Yeah, the fault you saw earlier on the RBCU number 2 was because we had swapped the computers. Yeah, that's why it was faulty on that side too, but after the system reset it clearly indicated that the fault was still on side number 1. Yeah, part of the emergency brake system is not working. Open circuit. Alright, yeah, continue. So here we are running the system test on the brakes, and you see what the test activates within the system. We have power to the So the faulty brake control valve is the ASV brake number 5. But here you see that the currents to the valve look comparable with the others. So that's why we thought it was the controller in the initial stage. So the only problem is the control. Oh well, we put back the So here we are, aircraft started up, and we are going to prepare to replace the remote brake control unit. So, well, yellow reservoir is not a problem. We can remove that one. It's done. Pressurize the green 2 for a moment. Good. Captain goes to the keyboard. Alright. Now we should only have the emergency brake. So for that we have a remote brake control units. The one that's faulty is the remote brake control unit number 1, and that's the one that's just put downstairs. So now we're gonna look for the circuit breakers and we're gonna replace that one. First, some circuit breakers. We have one here. There's this one. KK04. bit. I don't want to follow. Remote brake control unit number 1. We're going to replace that one and hopefully solve the problem of the emergency brake control. Place this one here for the moment. Here you see the escape routes. Well, here the computer installed, and you see that we have even more dispatch messages on the brake system. But that's because the installation isn't finished. I still need to check the software of the computer and reload if necessary.
No, eh? No, of course.
Here we haven't. It isn't solved yet. But let's do the test and
Software check and see how far we get now. At least the emergency control
is gone. Yeah, it's not part of it. Now we have brakes normal and wheel tire press monitoring unit. So I suspect that the software in the current computer is not the correct one. Let's load that up and see where we go there.
Let's go. Let's see what current fault we have. Let's do that. I'm gonna check. Well, this is the installation. So now we have to check software. 10GL1. Let's check. So that's what we do here. Upload configuration validation. RBCU. Search. Sorry. Yes, there's this one. Confirm selection. Confirm. Now we see that it's validating. Yes, software is not loaded. Okay. Select part number. And I'll upload. I'll come back with you when the upload is finished. Still going strong.
And here the moment that I found out that the RBCU didn't solve the problem.
Well, we have a bigger problem.
So the next step in the troubleshooting process for this problem is the replacement of the Alternate Brake Servo Valve for brake number 5.
So here we go in a little area in the wing, just next to the, well, here we see some head. So the headache of the emergency brake was this component. So we replaced this one and we tested the system again, and now we're good again. Message cleared. So we're able to dispatch again. So here I'm just checking for leaks. It's not very clean, but it's not leaking at least. So this is the alternate brake control valve, and this is then the selector valve for brake number 5. The problem maker. Manifold SC brake number 5. Let's look around a little bit. Well, this big piston is the retract actuator of the main landing gear. And here there's still a little bit of metal in the airplane, not everything is carbon reinforced panels. Here's some titanium. Some hydraulic hoses. Yeah, a big nut that holds the actuator in place. Time to close up, do the paperwork, and go home. So here you see, we have no more dispatch messages. That's good. This was a good part. We can put some light on it. That causes the emergency brake control message. We thought, or at least I thought, that it was the computer, because let me show you. Here we have the ACMS, we have the brake page, braking. And what you previously saw is that the status of one of the channel was faulty. So then you would think, and if you also test it, it gives the controller fault. The only thing is, the second fault was wiring or this is the servo valve between the controller. The wiring between the controller and the servo valve or the servo valve. Well, these are pretty new airplanes, so wiring should not be an issue. Of course, it's still can happen. You have movement in the airplane, so wiring can get damaged, ages. But luckily it was the control valve. So now we have everything back in order. The test that you previously saw fail, or I hope that I showed. If it's not in the video, too bad. I cannot simulate it anymore. So what's left for me now is the paperwork. So I hope you like this a little bit. I haven't been able to film everything. We didn't film the replacement of the servo valve. It's a bit tight. You saw at least where it's hidden in the airplane. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Take care.